Ah, boy. I hope that whatever I have to deal with today is not as bad as that shitty snake. Oh, that thing was awful. And, awful. But, I remember-ish where we have to go, which is to say that I remember we have to go to a place down this tunnel because there's a grapple point. And someplace that's full of a small amount of water. And a massive cable. Ah, my phone's buzzing at me for some reason. Might be, might be email telling me that somebody bought an item that I listed on Steam for what it considers to be a suspiciously low price. Oh, right. And by that I mean I didn't finish listing those properly, did I? Oh, ho, 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 because I have to confirm it in the thing because of reasons. Listen, Valve, you'll do this much for account security, but something, I don't know where exactly I'm going with this bit, but it's not like Valve hasn't done other embarrassing things with regards to Steam. I'm not interested in what this guy is selling if he's going to be that much of a jerk. Oh, okay, so I'm not actually able to get any new information there. I wasn't sure if it was like Prime 1 or something where you have to rescan certain things after you gain access to the tools to use them. Because for some reason... I mean, honestly, it does kind of make sense a little bit to me. It feels intuitive on some level. Oh, hey! This guy was hiding behind that cube crate. Crate cube. Oh, this is a slightly menacing looking room. What you call this place? Power core. I actually could have guessed that myself, honestly. That is what I was thinking for a second, but I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, it's actually called something like the big dynamo thing. This is actually probably a bit of a scan puzzle, isn't it? Or at least I gotta scan to get the ball rolling here. Ah, I see. There we go. So yeah, That lot of puzzle that actually was. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Oh, god damn it. Hey everybody, look who it is! It's a guy that we don't care that much about. By a psychic jammer, huh? Is that anything like Magic Jammer? Is he discarding cards for that? He's fast. Oh boy. Okay, bit of a problem here. How do I... Oh, I see. Grapple points. It would have been nice if I had figured that out, like, before the first 10 minutes of that attack. That ate three... Not three of my energy tanks. It only ate two. The other one was technically broken out of by the little probes, but... Oh, I was gonna say, I'll be ready for you this time. I was not ready. What? Oh, get out of the... Ow, 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 ow. What the fuck, dude? Why does he do this much damage? Why does anything in this game do this much damage? I'm on normal difficulty. I expect some pushback, but not this much. I'm aiming right at it! Fuck! And now I'm gonna... I am going to fucking strangle someone at Retro. Can I blame this one on Jeff Spangenberg, too? Oh, what, he's been gone from the company for like 25 years? Probably closer to 20. It does... at least, I suppose, start me at the exact beginning of the boss fight or something, but, like... that's not the pause button. Because the Switch doesn't have a traditional start button, they call them the plus and minus buttons, so they just assign whatever to them. Still hate that, and it's years later. And by years later, I mean, I'm pretty sure that started with the Wii. For some reason. Sorry, I was already being bothered by something and now I have to deal with. This bullshit. And of course, there's land right on top of him. Right, well, good. At least he's sending out the probes, so I can possibly get some items back, and you know. Whoa, hey! I don't think I agree with that one so much, but I'm also kind of in a position here right now where my... Why am I only allowed to grab onto a point for a brief period of time? Also, can they, like, give me some sort of tell for how long that is, please? That would sure be nice. Honestly, this fight's a lot easier than it looked at first. It's just that that floor attack is absolutely monstrous. Mostly because it's causing constant hit stun! Which is like... Okay, I would like to get acclimated to this, and yet... you've decided not to. And yeah, of course, I just sold something on Steam Market and it got hit immediately by the purchase price for this item is unusual. Which is, I think, basically their way of saying, well, it's coming from a different territory where, due to exchange rates, then that one's not my fucking fault. Why am I getting fucking punished for it? I bring this up all the time, but genuinely, like, Valve, what are you doing? And why? Oh, right, they don't care as long as they get theirs. Wow, who can imagine that a corporation is gonna do corporation shit? Wow, it took so long to actually notice me, I didn't think it would. Dude, this thing is entering and leaving so fast I can't even ice beam it. Would you relax, please? Doesn't stay frozen for very long either. Wow. Yeah, judging by that shattering, that... If it just sort of, like, deflected that a little bit, that would be so weird if it... was like, yeah, okay, technically I got hit by that, but that was just the shot bouncing off, and it was still alive afterwards. Because it didn't shatter when I hit it before, so it was definitely something different going on. In any case, we now get to go and turn the Thunder Chip into Fury Green because we have to keep going back and forth between all of these areas for some reason. And, like, yeah, okay, backtracking is normal in these kind of games, but this is actually way more than usual. Oh, what? Okay, pardon me 1 second. So I have a thing up with maps that I look at for the overworld, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll scroll back into position. I didn't realize that I was scrolled up as far as I was on this particular set of stuff. And I just noticed a listing for a thing I could do. So, oopsie, I got spoiled. I don't care, though. That guy, however, just landed right on top of me, and I care only a little bit, and usually would probably care a little more. But in this situation, I can deal with it, because I had, like, full HP otherwise. Oh, you're actually awake. I guess we can do a thing this way, because I remember there were grapple points here. But if we're back down here, we may as well see if we can do the thing that requires those. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to the fact there might be dudes here. Not sure if I got knocked massively in the air there or not, but it felt like I did. Get out of here. You two also get out of here. Come on. Oh, hey, hey, hey. What? What's attacking me from where? The only thing I see out there is a big mass of these dudes. These drones. We can reduce, it seems, but we need to use a charge shot for it. I think they're thinning out after impact. I don't know how important it is to do that, because there's a very large space in which they're not there, but hey, anything to attempt to ease it up a little bit would be nice. Ah, shit. Well, great work. Me. Let's let these pass. This is the only thing here, I think, so... Okay, yeah, it's literally just that. Nice one, Samus. I don't know what the hell you were doing there, but don't. Gotta make sure you jump over the edge of that, which is, well... I mean, I guess that's fair, but it is very strange that they care about that. You can't give me a little bit of boost otherwise. Eesh. Anyway, there might be some stuff here. I don't recall. if there was anything here that we required the grappling beam for. There is, unfortunately, we don't have the spider ball yet. I'm kind of surprised. Right, that's this tunnel. Right. Okay, yeah, I don't think we have to do anything here. Just, oh, wait. Right, this thing! Now I remember this. I just didn't remember where it was. Didn't realize it was in this room. Now it's coming back to me a little bit. Okay, I've got to get into a point where I can get some height on this, right? I'm gonna have to climb up these crates then. Not the ones in the middle of the room. That's a different kind of crate I'm talking about. This one cycle. And say unless it does it like freeze while I'm there? I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. Oh shit. Yeah, I knew there was something there. I just screwed it up. That's better. And there we go. There's our shot expander. That should be the last thing we need to do here. Then we go to Furry Green and we, be confused or something. I don't know where I'm go with that. Okay, yes, we got this before. This game has a lot more instances. It was a thing in earlier Prime games. I'm not complaining about it. It's valid, but it definitely feels like I'm taking a lot more instances of getting shot between doorways in this game than in several of the others. It's like, heh. Oh. Because of placement, I almost didn't see that, so I may have, like, almost stood up right into a bit of deadly electricity. That would have been very embarrassing. And by deadly, I just mean painful, because it wouldn't actually insta-kill me, but probably would have felt like it, at least emotionally, so that's worth something, I guess. And by that, I mean, I have no idea what I mean. Let's roll. Let's get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of this place. If I have to fight a mini-boss to leave again, I'm going to be very annoyed. Especially because I'm going to have to come back here, too, once I have the Thunder Chip, because for some reason, you know, there's, like, no hardware to be found almost on this planet, because the Lemorn are all like, machinery is bad. In a Metroid game. I feel I've talked about this before. So, back when I was in university, I had a class in media analysis, and I did something about... I specifically used the original Metroid Prime because it's the best game in the series, and fuck you if you disagree, because you're wrong. And going into this idea of... the idea of Samus as being, like, more of a scavenger hero, and while she's openly aligned with technology, she just gets all of the things that she requires from picking them up in the world because of somebody leaving them behind. Whereas, and Prime is a good one for this reason, because you find all the space pirate laboratories and shit around. And you get to kind of see them actively engaging in doing things that are very, very bad and dumb and... What's up with this thing? Okay, can I do anything with it? Doesn't look like it. In any case, I'm gonna pick up some of those crystals, because they're here, and they're green this time. Dude, I'm already working on it. Oh my god. I don't necessarily have a problem with the, like, any of the map indicators, but, like, just the needless calls and everything. I don't know, you could tag it on the map immediately and be like, hey, Samus actually knows how to use the map functionality of her helmet, instead of requiring someone else to do it for her. There's, like, definitely whole video essays involved in this idea, but I don't want to do that. Not right now, anyway. Also, yeah, these crystals are off and on turning green over time, and I don't understand why they've got to do it that way. I guess that way they technically prevent you from just chugging this entire objective at the beginning of the game. And because there's gun upgrades tied to it, as far as I can tell. Possibly more, but at least that. Maybe it's to prevent you from getting those too early or something. In fact, I would guess that that's probably it, is that it's here because you get stuff for doing it, and they want to make sure that it takes you a while to get there. Which, I mean, sure on paper, but also, boy, this whole idea is bad full stop, so... I've seen some people try to compare this to Hyrule Field, and it's like, Hyrule Field's much smaller than this, and I would hazard has more to do per amount of space. And isn't loaded with a bunch of busywork fucking green crystals for no reason. I guess it's like if you had to do big pose, and also there were like a million of them, and they started unlocking as the game went on. Although I guess at least in this case you don't have to carry your green crystals in a bottle, so there's that. And you gain the ability to finish the game, which is a little more valuable, in my opinion, than just a fourth bottle that you get after you deal with the main reason why you would want that many bottles to begin with. Oh, fuck off. The notification was even gone. I don't have to be told where the... Oh my god. Well, I did get the information I wanted, which is that, yes, I have enough to go and hand in at the Altar of Legacy. That's all I wanted to know. Why isn't there, like, an indicator for that on the main screen? Aside from the fact that this game, like... God, it's kind of incredible to think about how a game can have a decade-long dev cycle and still feel incredibly low effort. Like, this is just a Unity asset with, pardon me, like a Unity tester with new assets over it, huh? This area specifically? Surely. Surely! Well, time to sit here as this big, funny rock thing just kind of rocks through the rock. Air rock. I feel like this performed better earlier in the game. Maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm forgetful here. Okay, let's go hand in the thing to what's his name. Oh hey, we should be able to finally get that open very soon. That's good. Oh, hey, cool. All the military dudes got over here. They're just kind of hanging out. Oh, canonically we have a pronunciation for Samus Aran.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's nice to have confirmation. Somebody will probably be like, "Oh well, if you'd played Metroid Prime 3." Hey, as a certified motion controls hater,
Let's go, kid.
why don't you eat my stupid shitty lava worm I had to fight yesterday? Nowadays there's Prime hacks, so I don't have to worry about that.
Almost got it.
Let's see, and they got these, like, tables that are just formed of old chunks here.
How about now?
Hey, Samus. I was finally able to get here after my leg was fixed up.
Hold still.
I am.
I'm almost done.
He's been saying that for an hour.
Alright, how's that? Better?
I can't see.
What about now?
Good.
Well, okay, I'm not sure I trusted him with my
Welcome
guns
back,
anyway,
Samus.
but,
You found a new chip, right? Let me see it.
let's see
I'd
where...
love to see the chip myself, but could you wait until we get to the holo table?
I mean, you can just, like, smash cut into the cutscene, dude. Look at these cheap-ass programmers who want to make things more complicated for me. I love it. They put in a needless weight here. It's designed specifically to offend
I'd love to see
speedrunners.
the chip myself, but could you wait until we get to the holo table?
You're right there!
Let me see what you brought me. This also looks like a circuit with a chip inside.
I mean, yeah, you could probably tell that
This
from
one's gonna be fun.
that. Well, listen, I'm not sure that I trust military personnel who are basically just cops on some level with anything that is electric. This guy's really interested in his electroshock gloves that he could theoretically make from this same coating.
Surprise even myself. This one's a beaut.
We got the thunder shot. That's right, it makes a loud noise. And apparently is electrified because they, you know,
Presenting the thunder shot. Electric
something,
shock is
something,
effective against
lightning,
mechanical
thunder,
enemies,
yeah.
and I think you'll be able to provide electricity to devices.
It's even got like a bunch of spikes on the top of it. It's
All right. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you out.
alright. This way? That's where the altar is?
Go shock them with thunder shot.
Don't be adult, use Electro Bolt. Wait, no, wrong shooty things franchise. That's where our giant mech is hanging out. Forgetting my way around the map. That, to be honest with you, I haven't had to do much navigating of.
Welcome back.
Okay, that's just a save point.
You mentioned grievers were actually Lords.
They were searching for a way to turn Grievers back. See ya.
This way. Right. This is the way of the place I was looking to go. Let's feed it some crystals. Wow, the thing is about half full. We get an upgrade to our control beam, apparently. They can now travel farther. Sadly, it's not a gun damage upgrade, but okay. That is kind of useful in its own right. I am not sure if there's anything to do this way, but I will take a quick peek anyway. Oh, they're sidestepping a lot, huh? They have one brain cell each. That's more than I've got, though, so I'm almost impressed as a result. I think this way is a place where we can come to get more, like, scans and stuff. Get this thing already? Yeah. It's the old worm dingler. Tell me about orb. Well, I guess it's nice of them to give me some sort of, like, extra lore for these bosses. But I think that's all we do in this direction. And now we go back out to the map and... Well, actually, we got a little bit more stuff we can do first. We get to wait for this door to open because there's a lot more people in here now. Hey, look at those weird bird creatures. That should open that up and reveal a thing. Oh, it spat out the other side. Okay. Just a shot expansion, but I mean, honestly, maybe at some point I will remember to use my beam ammunition a little bit more. Oh, that does good damage to those guys, actually. But yeah, to be fair with you, I'm not always the sort of person who's wont to use that, because it's like, hey, that's limited. Not as limited as all that, really. Okay, so what's the nature of the puzzle here? Shoot the top with electricity. Think of any of these scans that are necessary here. There's some instruments to move around here. Okay, Is this how we're doing it? Is we're rotating these around. We're gonna have to pull them down afterwards, huh? Yeah, okay, we want these central. Okay. I get you now. It's probably much simpler than it actually looks, right? Yeah, it's a Metroid Prime puzzle. It's simpler than it looks. What am I thinking, Lears? Also, coke ovens. Just like the... Ow! Damn, that thing's pointy. Just like the beginning of every, like, hardcore tech mod pack, right? Make lots of coke ovens. You gotta coke that coal and, you know, cram that shit in there good and tight so that way you can get the best, coking. I think that's how coking coal works in real life, is basically that they have it in an oven where it's like a minimum of air and then they burn it. Which sounds kind of like a little bit cracked, but I'm not necessarily an expert when it comes to anything regarding all of science. I just read Wikipedia a lot. On the other hand, some people can't be bothered to do that anymore, so, like, I don't know. Invoking Idiocracy obviously is, like, really stupid, but it is on the same sort of concept of, like, you become an expert because literally everybody else is so fucking incompetent. Alright, now let's pull up that chart of shit that we can do here in the this part of the map. So that way we can see what all we gotta do in the middle of this desert. Which, I mean, middle of the desert, that also kind of reminds me of, like, every Minecraft tech pack we've ever been in. Unfortunately, no tar sands to find out here. Although, it's Metroid, it's Meat Rod. It's supposed to be somewhere in the future, fairly nebulously, but the future nevertheless. Maybe they wouldn't really have such a need for that sort of concept, would they? They have 2.9 Greg, which changes a bunch of... Huh? That sounds wacky. I haven't heard anything about this. That's... do you got links that can give me sort of, like, the gist of... What's the deal? What's the deal? Etc. with 2.9 Gregs. And I'll take a look at it after I finish streaming and go, boy, I wish my sleep patterns weren't as fucked as they are, but, whatever. Yeah, we got the old killer death wheels out here. I hate it when you go out in the middle of the desert and there's just some fucking wheels that are trying to kill you. Are we allowed to go out there? No, that's part of the background. Whoops. That's a big long jump there. That lead me over there? That looks like it could. I see 2 crops became crops in it. Well, that's good because if I recall correctly, IC2 crops can be kind of a bastard, and in GTNH they were jacked up to their highest difficulty for obvious reasons. Yeah, this isn't where I'm... Oh, it's a bit further south of here. Place with Greg Tech 1. I've never seen the GT Coke oven, so that's interesting. Auto export. Work around. Okay, that's very good overall. Railcraft Steam. Steam oven. I'm trying to place, but Railcraft does some very fucky shit, if I recall correctly. Like just a mod. I kind of enjoy Railcraft a little bit, but it can cause some problems in terms of things being like replaced by air blocks that aren't the same concept of air blocks from regular MC. So sometimes, like, free air will be thought to be full of something. There's some crust involved with it, but I do like it as a mod otherwise. Okay. Add a vending machine you can make now. That's how you store, select, vend coins, do something unlock complete quests. Cool. Can I shake it and it'll fall on me and kill me? Nah, it's it's not that type of game, but you really hope so. Yeah. Don't you hate it when you do something like that? I feel like if I ever do build a video game where there'd be a reason to have a vending machine, that's got to be a thing that's like... Or maybe just have one that's just a boss. I am working on that, sir, but still in the early Steam age. All right, I will. I'll take a look in. Obviously, like, what's it? 9 o'clock, and I started at 8 today because I was having the big sleepies. So I'll take a look at this in like a couple of hours to get some more specifics. And I mean, I don't know how always available I would be, but I would certainly see about throwing my hat in the ring and going like, hey, gee, I really hope that stuff works properly. This code approved. Alright, so are you gonna, like, throw stuff on my map for me? Guy? Or how does this work? That's fair. Oh, unacquired. Yes, thank you. Fuck yeah. You'll love to see it. Basically, I mean, fuck it. Open it to him anyway. Ask him if he'd be interested. And I mean, hey, anybody, you know, something about many hands making light work or something. I don't necessarily expertise in words right now, especially not in the moment. I like to think I'm vaguely competent when I'm otherwise trying. This is an object, alright. This looks like there should be an item link to it, because there's a little cross... Oh, it's a little over. Never mind. It's probably this thing, isn't it? Right, I seen this earlier. This is a thing that's like, hey, shoot electricities. And in short, yeah, any sort of like chip-in work would be good, and as long as it's, you know, as long as it's open at all times. I use this curve. Ew. Boo. I'm sure we'll figure. I'm sure we'll get that together in due time. Basically, in short, or perhaps in long, judging by the way that I talk, as long as it's an always open thing, and as long as we can be sure that team progress is synced, which is, I think, a big thing that we got to be sure of just for the reasons of that. That's probably perfectly doable, so yeah. I wonder what's going to happen if you just drop another person in that team. Do we just get a bunch of shit to pick up? Also, I'd say if anything, leave like some large amount of storage area there that can be used in that case, because you know how that goes. RegTech already is a thing that wants fuckloads of stuff. God, now I'm trying to remember, does that have some sort of barrels or storage drawers or something that's accessible early on? Because, you know, big stacks of big stacks. And I'm willing to bet the answer is no, plus chests are quite complicated, if I recall correctly. Let me guess, it's locked real fucking hard, isn't it? compact but the controller is yeah, no kit. No surprises there. I mean, again, if it's a thing that you can just set up like Jabba barrels at a reasonable price for a lot of the stuff that's going to be required en masse, then at the very least we've got a nice start. Reasonable price, he says. That's yeah. I'm the one who's out here like asking yous for some shit that's it's Greg Tech. If I recall correctly, Greg Tech does some stuff to the cost of chests and stuff. If I could ever get the words out. Because it's like, I guess it also depends very heavily on what implementation you're using, and be wary of comparing that to just general purpose expert mod packs, which I could swear there was at least one that hit a certain level of psychosis that's like funny on paper, and then you think about actually playing it and it's like, ugh, where you needed nails in order to make the plank blocks. Which was just like, you've lost me somewhere along the way. Funny, but like, man, at that point you just literally just make a box out of iron plating, don't you? Oh, well, you see, streamer, wood has different properties for... Yeah, I get it. I see a smoking thing here. This guy's just out here in the middle of the desert with his harmonica.
Samus, please, join me.
His harmonica that looks like an old... Not even an old memory stick, but like... From a...
Wind blows across the land.
Something you'd probably find at DDR4 sort of era. No LEDs, but I've definitely seen a lot of them that have not, like, rainbow LEDs in them that
My family
have that, like, yellow sort of framing to it.
Hunting is how we survived.
God, imagine being so rich that you can turn
My father
a ram
and
stick into a
grandfather
harmonica.
before me. Now,
Imagine having that kind of
when I
crafting skill.
catch the
Fuck.
scent of game in the wind, I remember those who came before. Anyway, I lose myself. I found something near the cargo launcher. I kept it, thinking it'll be of use to you.
What you got for me, champ? Ah, I see. It's another upgrade we gotta go back across the damn desert for. Classic. Classic fumbles. I should have expected as much, really, but...
You got something interesting. I'd love to take a look.
Ah, shut up, Mackenzie. I am cracking open my map real quick to have a quick scout around here. We're gonna at least pick this up before we go. Oh, oopsie.
Good hunting, Samus.
Did it again, because I don't have a great apprehension of where those middle buttons are on this controller. I can't even blame anyone except for myself sometimes. It's like, yeah, it's because I got stupid hands. I got these giant hands. Actually, I think my hands are kind of normal sized, but... For some reason, I think just because it was really dumb, I have that... It's a very old, maybe 15 years old at this point, Burger King commercial, where it was like the guy didn't want to try the Whopper because... No, it was because he had tiny hands, right? And they were trying to be like, our burger is so big. And this guy was getting very self-conscious about his tiny hands. God, and anybody is surprised to consider the idea of advertisers being on ungodly amounts of drugs. Right? Oh, excuse me. Granted, the only two people that I know about, like, in terms of ad guys who I could tell you anything about and about their drug habits were Salvador Dali and Frank Zappa. Neither of whom used that type of recreational drugs. I mean, Frank smoked regular cigarettes and he used a lot of caffeine, but he didn't drink alcohol, he didn't do anything harder either. So, and Salvador Dali, as far as I'm aware, he didn't do drugs. He didn't need the help, right? Anybody who's ever seen any of Salvador Dali's art will be like, yeah, what would he have needed that for? He could outperform that shit. You see, some people would probably be like, oh yeah, in certain fields, that would be a performance-enhancing drug, and then they look over at Dali, and then it's like, actually, the LSD considers him to be the performance-enhancing chemical. Anyway. Okay, Grandpa, time for your bed. Yeah, right. Oh my god, everything is absolutely, completely jacked economically. I mean, granted, I think that some of the numbers on some of these things are, like, perhaps less worse than I would have expected. Like, for example, because I've been trying to keep my eye on the re-release of the 5800 X3D in terms of prices and, you know, prepping for availability and anything like that, because I'm hoping that I'll be able to bag one of those around Black Friday, especially if Micro Center has a deal or, God, anywhere else. But I actually looked into it a couple of weeks ago. I know roughly where there's a Micro Center here in the state. And it's like, hey, yeah, list price of $350. I was expecting it to be much higher. Getting a pre-built might be the way to go. Ew. I mean, you're right, but that said, I did look at pre-builts a couple of months back because I was like, am I sure I don't want to just like upgrade everything and go that route? But that is a little bit severe. Well, how badly would I really need to be on AM5 at this point? Especially because I feel like every pre-built that I was seeing that was like sub $2,000, and God knows this number may be inexact, because also I didn't necessarily keep a great memory of all these values after I found out about the 5800 X3D reissue, was still on like 32 gigs of RAM. And in the back of my head, I'm like, well, surely I would prefer, unless I would, you know, because I am on DDR4 and an AM4 processor, and the 5800 can do some good work, right? So at that point, the 64 is probably still semi-preferable. Anywho, this wants a ball. Can we just cheese the puzzle this way? Or is it going to be like, that's not specific enough? No, it doesn't seem to mind. Oh, no, it disappeared because those aren't as hard as that. Okay. I gotcha. It's been a minute since I've had to think about this level of using the tools that much. Because I suppose I'd hesitate to call this complicated, but it does feel a little bit more involved. Seven Series was horrible. I feel like I remember you saying that, but I can't recall for sure. Ooh, yes, there's a shot expansion. That's a nice freebie. But yeah, I'm not really I'm not too concerned about going to like 4K type of stuff or anything like that just as a beginner. Okay, I think I have an idea as to what this place is going to be like. So I can go ahead and get my ass slapped a couple more times by that weird tentacle monster, and I don't care. I have a good amount of health right now. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I think even after that, there is going to be a bit of an issue for a couple of years. You know, if the execs can get their heads out of their asses and recognize that this shit is actually a bubble and that nobody wants this. Because from what I heard, at least some of the companies have had their stocks basically pre-bought for 2027. So we're going to be sitting around for a while. On the other hand, there's this part in the back of my head that's like, well, surely that means that data centers will get decommissioned, and then this stuff will make its way to eBay, and it won't be cheap because, I mean, I don't know what what one could possibly expect to result in the case where it turns into the weird fish from Mario, but it would, it'd be one of those cases where it would theoretically be a little bit more affordable because it would be, used. And we know how computer parts do when they're under heat, right? Because we learned about that from back when everybody, and by everybody I mean a small amount of people. Well, okay. Let me try phrasing this vaguely intelligently. There were a lot of people who were doing Bitcoin stuff. And I say Bitcoin, obviously I mean like cryptocurrency at large. It's not literally just Bitcoin. Don't fucking at me in the comments. Or I'm going to depict you as the soy jack or something. Or whatever the kids do these days that's the equivalent of that. I don't speak youth. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is going to be at least like somewhat weakened because of being under load. The thing I was thinking of more specifically is like the locations that were basically just like massive farms for that shit that were using insane amounts of energy just for that. Oh, shut up about the ice belt. I'll get there in a bit. I got an overworld to explore first. And I use the term explore very loosely. But yeah, there is that obviously demand is not going to get outstripped by supply or anything quite like that, but there's going to be high enough supply to like tamp things down, and those guys will have to fight over prices. And yes, I do realize that supply and demand is very it's not the full picture of economics. I took at least one econ class where I got to learn about Japan and their economy kind of getting eaten even further because of Shinzo Abe. So that was fun. We support the doohickey on this channel. Anyway. I mean, come on, guys. If we have such extreme needs for electricity, it pushes technology further, and when it dies, we have such advanced tech for such little needs. The world just gets better. Clueless. Yeah. I think that that's also the other thing, speaking of electricity, because there's technology for renewable energy shit and, you know, other things that would be more resource efficient, but they're not being used by these companies because like the whole of wealth is this sort of incestuous, I don't know that that's necessarily the term I want to use here, but you know, the idea that they're like all basically kind of sucking each other's holes a little bit in various ways. So there's not really money for them in renewable energy. Instead, there's money for them in coal. Because the universe is a fuck. Anyway. China says, cheap, crappy, but usable computer parts. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. But also, I confess that I haven't necessarily looked at that too closely. And I guess quality on any of those things is kind of always variable. Like, Chinese-made stuff always has its poor reputation, but, I mean, think about how much of our shit is already made in China to begin with. You're just getting the good ones, and the stuff that you find on, like, a lot of the cheap sites and that, those tend to be factory seconds. I also don't really know 100% anymore what the status of tariff kind of stuff is. Because every once in a while, I will, because of the things that I follow, I'll see, like, advertisements for like, Anbernic kind of stuff. And I don't have a great use for the sort of Anbernic handhelds, but I'm curious about them if they're cheap. And I take a look at them, and it's like, not really the sort of thing that I would throw the cash down for at the moment. But also, my brain's like, wait a sec, is this tariffed or not? Although, obviously, if the tariffs just mysteriously go away in a week or something, because the machine that our fearless leader has plugged his brain into has decided, oh yeah, by the way, actually, I predicted wrong, and here's the... Well, I mean, yeah, there's always the old 5-finger discount. Oh no, that's probably not what you mean. Yeah, see, I'm the one who's out here being a smartass, but, you know. Anyway, now I get to go and talk to this goober again to go get our ability, because,
I know this is out of the blue, but I am really in the mood for some nori and curry now.
Wait, what?
Nori and one of the,
It's a specialty at the base where I was previously stationed.
Is that a planet in Prime 3? I forget.
Hot enough to make you breathe out fire?
It is a...
It's super mild. Sweet even.
Can you guys shut up so that way I'm allowed to talk to this guy? There we go.
Let's take a look. Oh, wonder what this is. Let's find out. Teleportation technology? No way! You know, we were analyzing something like this back at base.
I mean, I feel like we've seen teleportation technologies in the Metroid universe before, just maybe not as portable.
Let's see. And there.
That's a long reach, one sec.
I did it! This is a teleporter patch, and I've entered our coordinates here as the destination.
Okay, so
Find any of those missing mech parts?
yeah, we need this to be able to tag the mech parts
Directly to base camp.
because we need a
Take all the credit.
big robot.
Really nailed short-range teleportation, but just put my own spin on it.
You know, for now, we'll worry about that later. There's definitely shit to go pick up in the desert, but I don't know how many of those we're going to actually be able to tag right now, because I know at least one of them uses power bombs, and I've kind of gotten spoiled on a little bit of information. Not enough to be like, oh yeah, I know the game in and out now, but I have seen that apparently, the super missile is, like, insanely late for some reason, which I'm just going to call, like, inverse QOL a little bit. And on the opposite hand, that power bomb is also very late, which is not that unusual. That was a case in Dread as well. In fact, in Metroid Dread, power bomb, you basically got that like 10 minutes before the final boss. And it was on you to think, hey, do I want to go turn around and do everything that the game had for power bomb usage? God, Metroid Dread was strange. I'm not really prepared to make qualitative judgments on it, although if you want my opinion, it wasn't very good. But it's definitely it's an odd one. I remember posting a review of it way back in the day when I did review videos on YouTube. And some guy in the comments got pissed off at me because I said that the music sounded like shit, because the music sounded like shit, and this was between playing it out of the speakers and also playing it out of the capture device. Now, granted, I didn't have as good of a capture device back then, but it wasn't having that much of an issue with sound. It really was just that the music sounded very, very bad and was mixed like dog butts. But I'd seen YouTube dumps that were much better. I mean, obviously, there's sort of the general problem of, like, it was kind of mastered like modern music, and all the instruments were very... basically, to be honest with you, ahead of everything, I'm not the hugest fan the world has ever seen of modern VGM, period. Just because I think that unless you have something really special from an arrangement perspective, a lot of it tends to sound very like you're leaning on the fact that you have these good sounding instrument patches on your synthesizers, or alternately the possibility that you have access to an orchestra to make it sound good without doing much work in the way of arranging. Meanwhile, I think about shit like Mega Man 4 on the NES, and Capcom, the arranger and sound programmer there at Capcom, squeezing out this very lonely, sort of forlorn-sounding track for Dustman's level in some parts of it. Because of the sheer limitations that they had, it's like, that's really incredible. Nowadays, you just have this ability where you can create orchestrated music, and, like, not to say that all orchestral VGM is bad, because it's not, but also I think that for a lot of these dudes, they sort of look over at that thing as a bit of a shortcut, because they kind of go, oh yeah, well, our audience has never heard an orchestra before. They don't know what any of this sounds like. They listen to 8-bit bleeps and bloops, therefore the sounds of real instruments, asterisk, will really blow them away. And it's like, but you didn't come up with anything cool with it. And then you look over at certain other composers, you know, like, because again, obviously this doesn't apply to everybody. Like, you know, Soken is still kind of whooping ass. Like, say whatever about Dawn Trail, and I certainly have, and I have very mixed feelings about it. I'm glad that 7.5 is much better than previous stuff in the thing, and of course there is also the part where it's like, hey, yeah, by the way, 7.5 does kind of go back to a little bit more of like the overarching story, and I don't want to say that that makes things inherently better, but also, man, I was not getting along with the Alexandrian stuff for a variety of reasons, and a large amount of them comes back to the fact that, hey, they never handled the part where you really want me to feel bad for these fucking colonizers who are like, oh, but we have to do a colonialism to live. Then die. But, you know, say whatever about that part of things. Soken and the rest of the music team were still kind of giving it their all. I mean, on some level, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, it really helps they have Tom Morello, right? Yeah, it really helps that they had Tom Morello on that one song. You are correct about that, but let's not pretend that Everything Burns is the be-all, end-all of the entire soundtrack. There's more there that exists that is kind of alright in of itself. But, yeah, you know, that's sort of an example. I'm pretty sure Motoi Sakuraba is still doing good work, even though, like, the last thing that I can truthfully say that I know of that he would have been involved in was a Star Ocean game. Was Star Ocean 6 any good? I don't necessarily know that anybody here can tell me for sure, but if you have any information or belief in that direction, well, I wouldn't mind any info you can tell me.
When I have all the missing parts, I can fix the mech. Send them to me as soon as you find them. There should be 5 more.
Yes, I had guessed that by the 6 teleport patches. Otherwise, it would be a little strange. But, yeah, I didn't play Star Ocean 6 for a variety of reasons, because I played Star Ocean 5, and it was not a good game. Although I learned recently that it was a PS3 game in Japan originally, and was ported over to the PS4 because it was around that time in the cycle of the console generations. And I sort of realized, oh yeah, that actually explains legitimately probably everything. So yeah. I may have known that at the time and I just forgot it. Because I have that problem a non-zero amount of the time. Oh, hey, is that Tokabi again? Yeah, I hear him. I hear him giving me the old harmonica solo here in the middle of the desert.
Samus, please, join me. Make yourself comfortable.
We need, like, a train that exists in this sort of area that we can have as sort of some backdrop here.
This belonged to my father. We used to sit around a fire just like this, telling stories. He always spoke of Solon. Are you familiar? Solon sits atop the sky. Solon provides equal light to all. Solon is always watching over us.
Ah, I see. It's
That
your
is why we must not bring shame
it's
to
your
Solon.
god, because they do exist in a lot of sci-fi
I have
worlds.
made mistakes, many mistakes. But through Solon's light, I find balance.
I mean, why not? Especially why not when we have all the other
Thank you for indulging
the
me.
other SFF elements here, the other science fantasy stuff.
Samus, have you seen some of the pieces of the Federation base that were teleported here? I believe this will be of use to you. Please.
Oh, what do you got, buddy? He gave us a missile pack. Oh man, it's empty. Oh geez, you must have had some work to do, buddy. It's I get it though. Sometimes just some enemies will show up and they will suck.
May Solon watch over you.
Alright, so let's crack open our map here. Okay, yeah, there was an item that I missed there. I just didn't know how to get it. This time I looked it up because I literally didn't see shit there. It's because I'm a complete goon, so... Oh, I see. It's one of those things where you want to control beam your way up there. Okay, don't read the rest of the description. Let's see if we can hash this out for ourselves. So all I saw was control beam, and yeah, listen, there's a lot of cases where control beam targets are incredibly non-obvious until you get a better camera angle on them, which... Oh, Jesus. God, that always makes me want to barf. Be honest with you, I think it's mostly just because of the controls being funny. Alright, well that didn't really seem to do very much by itself. There's got to be something else here, right? Surely? Anything to tell me about this truck? No, just that its tow hook is broken off. I mean, fair enough, that's useful information. There's nothing else we can do with the truck, but I wish we could at least ransack it. Or have the trunk pop open so we can see there's nothing in there. Nope, trunk may not necessarily be the correct word, but I'm using what I... Using the terminology that I understand offhand. Mrs. Sternwood holder. There we go. That'll cover it. That ought to describe it nicely. God, I think I gotta play those games on this channel at some point. Because... Ah, so I guess I just didn't hit that before, huh? Yeah, I played Uninvited on this channel when it was under a different username. Probably over a decade ago now. And I never did get around to playing the other two. So I guess Uninvited would probably be due for a replay. Play that around Halloween. Got a creepy skull lady in it, which by Nintendo standards for 1992 or so is kind of impressive in a certain way. Okay, so let's go to this thing next. And by that, I don't mean the crystals, but you know what? Suck a couple of those up like I'm still employed by Dr. Cortex. Somehow I will never truly escape PS1 and PS2 platformers. Despite the fact that I'm often quite cold on 3D platforming in general. And yet, I guess, here I am, but this game feels a lot less platformery than a lot of prior Metroid entries. Well, Metroid entries full stop, but particularly out of Metroid Prime entries, which, you know, had some level of dexterity expected, at least in the first two. I still haven't played Corruption. But as I said earlier in the stream, certified motion controls hater, oh wait, Prime Hack exists. I don't really have much of an excuse now, do I? Well, what if I told you I was incredibly lazy? Would that cover the bases? Because it's true. Alright, so we should just need to hop up here. And tag this thing with a lightning beam, and there we go. Give me the old shock pistol. Aw, they won't let me just hop on the motorcycle and dive right off of that cliff, which would be really fun. I'm always sad that they don't want you to use the motorcycle to get to all of those, because with the way that that's all set up is like a bunch of steps. Maybe I just, in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I would really love for there to be more like Evel Knievel shit you could do with this thing. But instead, it's just somebody going, hey, open world is popular, right? And not realizing that they're getting their reheated takes from, like, 10 years ago. And they're 10 years into the dev cycle of the game, and then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, actually, it's too late now. Surely we can't just restart it again. It's kind of incredible, really, because I feel like Metroid fans are so fanatical about stuff with this series. It's like, it's kind of incredible, because really, Kensuke Tanabe could basically have just shit in the fan's mouth, almost literally, and it would have gone over well, and yet people didn't settle for this. Like, people are big mad about Prime 4, and on some level I do get it, because this game is, like, the most aggressively mid. I feel like Metroid Prime 4 hits a certain idea of platonic ideal of a video game, parentheses, 2026 edition. Where you've got horribly outdated ideas, badly written plot that doesn't make sense, garbage tier dialogue, strapping a known property onto it for the sake of you couldn't sell it without that. Alienates the fuck out of people. Still gets a Metacritic in the upper 70s because every publication is so shit scared of losing their funding from advertisement and stuff. Which is basically the same as it ever was from the 90s, right? Nothing has fundamentally changed. Eventually, one day, I'm hoping that like all of the arts and so on can get out from under the thumb of the capitalist hogs, but like, geez, man, it's gonna take some fucking doing.
There's still some unexplored areas in Icebound. Want to investigate further?
Fine, just get me through the cutscene that's involved here, but... God damn it. Miles McKenzie, I am going to strangle you like you're Bart Simpson and I'm Homer. Yes, here come the wheels again. Let's move this little rock down, and down we go. This must be a... This must be one that's more complex, or at least more moving parts. What have you got to say? Oh, there's a spinner down there. This weird gold bug doing here? What do you got for me? Sandcrawler. Contains an entire contingent of Jawas for some reason. I don't know what I expected, but I don't think it was that. So now what do I do? Aside from remind myself that I have to come back for all these green crystals in a minute or two. Oh yes, why not do it now? This is probably one of those things where I'm once again wildly overcomplicating a very simple puzzle. I do that a lot with, like, any puzzle game. But especially any sort of, like, Metroid Prime one, because then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm dumb and in a very specific way. Actually, hey, what's my progress on them things? I'm actually shockingly close to a third, the third upgrade from the crystal farming. So that's neat. Okay, so it's literally just that. I have to go and figure this out up there, probably. Oh, that was just being blocked by the thing. Okay. I couldn't quite see what it was, so... Okay! I didn't look up. Something about being a dog or something. Although, let me tell you, as soon as they encounter a television, a dog on television, oh, I don't think I can do this yet. I need the spider ball. God, the spider ball is going to unlock so much shit for me once I actually get it. Well, move that little object back up. And yes, for anybody who's wondering if they were sort of seeing anything with this sort of... with any sense of yonic imagery in the doors, I don't disagree. It's there-ish. Significantly more than some other things. And I will say this, I think they did a better job of being tasteful about it than did Borderlands. I hate to bring up Borderlands in a game where when I'm in the middle of a big featureless desert, because that's just mean. And you may be asking to who, and the answer is obviously to whatever I'm comparing to Borderlands. But it's more about the other thing in this case, that, like... I wouldn't even necessarily say if any of this is intentional on the part of Retro Studios, but I will say that it's not being perpetrated by a bunch of giggling youngsters who haven't grown up since being, like, 14. I thought I heard an extra noise when I picked up those crystals, but I must have been imagining it. Man, the way this game feels, I need to replace my bike with a bus, honestly. And that, I think, would go at least a little bit. It would feel... it wouldn't change the gameplay any, but it would feel a certain way, you know? Shut up, Mackenzie. As if anybody wants to talk to that dickhead more, right? What a guy. What a What an absolute... I don't know exactly what term to use there, except asshole. A tool bag. What a let me engage the brakes on my bike properly, because you can't just do it by holding backwards. And I guess we'll also get attacked by the old hell wheels here. Or as it gets translated into English, submissions. There we go. Hooray, a Pokemon joke. Wow, can you guys believe that the Pokemon series is 30 years old this year? And never in those 38 years has it ever not been total fucking jank. Oh, yeah! Not that I dislike that fact. That's, you know... That's alright. Alright, pop on our scan visor. Because, folks, we are in puzzle territory, TM. So we're using this to help find out if there's any objects around. Ever look up. Oh, hey, there's those things. Oh, those don't go down to a single lightning shot. That's a pity. A missile will, however, put them on the ground, so that's pretty good. Just don't want to deal with those anymore. You can tell me about this thing. Trigger with an electric current. That's pretty easy to figure out. Classic. Tag it and tag it as well. Alright, so there's another item in here. Very funny spot, isn't it? See, I hear it. I just don't know where it is. Hmm. This is befuddling. I'm saying, unless these are vulnerable to, like, missiles or something. Going this way? No. Alright, well, guidebook time. Well, I guess I just can't get it yet. Rings of Stone Shrine. Can I do that? Time to find out. Don't think so. Nah, let's go and let's move on for now and work on the rest of this stuff later, I suppose, because I definitely need some new abilities, and very specifically I need Spider Ball, which there's not a whole lot left in the game to get as far as I can tell. So surely that's got to be the next big one, right? Only makes sense. A lot of noises going on there. Oh, hey, there was a thing there. Quick. Yep, grapple our way up, and... Right, this leads over here, doesn't it? This leads to this thing, surely. There you go. That's number 3. Very nice. Okay, let's... take the old special path here. And pick us up a missile X-Pack. Yes. Yes, we do love those. That is pretty nice. Unfortunately, honestly, our missiles are not really that strong right now. Go back to just zapping things with our bug zapper. That'll do more damage most of the time. Excuse me. Oh, pardon me. Fuck. Like I think I said, wrecked sleep schedule. Patterns are all messed up. Got them circadian polyrhythms. Something. I don't know. Try to make it sound impressive. But in the end, I just sound like a dork. Hold still. He wasn't feeling like it for a bit there, but hey. We fix it. We haven't saved in a minute. Let's go save. There's really only the one save point on the overworld, which is dumb. For an area that large, excuse me, I feel like they should at least have a couple more. I mean, there's like a fucking trillion of them in Volt Forge. There's far more than there need to be, anyway. Yeah, these guys still would prefer to use fire shots on. Is there a boost ball launcher in this? Like a psychic boost rail, I guess is what I mean to say. The answer appears to be no. So there's only the fast travel backwards. And yeah, we got plenty of these shuckle flux all over the place, huh? That said, I appreciate how you can just slam into things with your boost ball still and deal good damage to them. As I remember when that was the solution in Prime 1 for dealing with Meta Ridley. I think I just missed Prime 1. I should probably like reintroduce Prime 1 randos to the rotation at some point. But I've been having a shocking amount of fun with Oot Rando, and I don't know. In my head, I'm kind of like, have a little bit more consistent programming on at least one day, and maybe in theory you'll be able to capture a little more of an audience. On the other hand, I'm not always sure how much audience I truly wish to capture. Also, this is the wrong way to get to that thing, isn't it? Yup, sure is. Alright, how do we deal with this again? Well, by the main control terminal, let's be on. Huh? Maybe if we finish that area. That will help us. Just be wishful thinking for all I know, but hey. Okay, what can you tell me about this thing? To release is effectively impossible. So that area is just blocked, huh? Lovely. Sever from circuitry. I'm feeling like there's a bunch of stuff that you can scan that the game's just like, by the way, this doesn't actually work. Which, I don't know. Why do you need to even have that be a thing? It can just sort of be like a background detail in that case. Maybe the sheer amount of the fact that, like, all the settings in this game are just like, hey, you want to go check out some science facility in this new world where we could have actual environments for you, but instead we don't. Alright, let's activate this robot.
Scanning for hostiles.
Oh, looks familiar-ish.
Greetings, Samus Aran. You have a new suit. I am View 995, Galactic Federation Golem pilot. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes, that'll be our
I am not
autopilot for the
receiving
Big Mech.
signals from the Federation base. Perhaps we are out of range.
Oh boy, are we, dude.
I will accompany you. VUT 995, Galactic Federation Golem pilot. Reporting for duty.
He's pronounced Golem and Gollum, so, I see the writers were indecisive. The VA director was, there wasn't much of one. Tell me about this? Yeah.
Door is blocking your way. Allow me to assist.
Yo, cool, he
Clear.
just punched right through that. I like this guy already.
Moving forward. Please let me know when I can clear the way.
Minimum of nonsense. Big cool punch robot. You know what? Considering the absolute state of NPCs in the rest of this game, VUE is pretty cool. We gotta talk to him.
If you would like me to clear the way, please scan the obstacle.
Oh, okay, I getcha. I got you now.
Affirmative.
See what you can do about this thing.
All done.
He literally just punched it right off of the door. Damn, that is one powerful fist he's got going on. Well, that'll be why these objects are marked yellow. Okay.
I can help.
So, whatever I was saying before, I'm stupid and I didn't know what the gimmick of this location was going to be yet. So,
Glass has been weakened. You should be able to.
take a look at it. I hit it with a missile. I said a missile.
I can unlock this chasm. Please continue without me.
Oh man, we gotta leave him behind. Oh yeah, I guess we gotta do our psychic stuff. As we get some psychic grapple.
Feel free to explore. I will scout the area for an exit.
Oh yeah, that should be meltable, right? Needs a couple of fire shots, and we're good to go. That's right, I remember how ice works now. It's frozen water. Which means if you just heat it up. That sounds like a resource to me, but what the hell do I know? Oh. Here we are in something a little bit more shriny looking than this. We're gonna need something a little heavier to deal with that, huh? Fell off by accident, but that's okay. We got ourselves another missile pack. There should only be, what's that, 110 more missiles to find, so... 22 more missile packs, I think, to get in the game. Oh, there's an orb there. Okay, gotta crack open a bunch more of these real quick. Crack open a couple of cold ones with the boys, as it were. Alright, no orbs to be seen for meters. Oh, never mind. That one had an orb. Just didn't look like it. Looked more like a receiver. I think because there's the things there that are marked as psychic receivers, so... Oopsie. I got thrown off. Now it opens the bottom of the thing here. Kind of like... It reminds me of the Chozo statue room in Prime 1 when you use the plasma beam to open that. And we got the Psychic Spider Ball, yeah! Or to hang from tether nodes, alright. And yeah, there's Psychic Ball tracks which we were able to figure out. earlier. And those will be things that'll give us access to some doodads to climb here. I do sort of miss the loud "durr" from the older games while you're doing that, but I understand why, because, like, surely all this psychic energy shit would be quieter, right? Because there wouldn't be as many moving parts. At least in theory. Ooh, you are assembling a bit of a course for me here, huh? Ah, right. So it's not just like an orb that we orbit around. It's a different thing. Bit slingshottier. Interesting. Well, I know for a fact that there's some stuff that we can get with that in this territory, so that's cool. That bit of the ambience means that there's probably some Reavers nearby. Ah, here we go. Easy enough. Start heading back. Okay, so I assume that what we want to do here is we want to go over this way and... While those aren't actually spider ball tracks, they're things attached to heaters. I know where there's some spider ball shit, and it's right here. Yeah, game, don't worry, you literally just told me about this, so it's fine. Those look like they're some import. Yeah. Of course, it's on a timer. Fuck my life. Fuck, this is tight as hell. Mostly because I find that you don't really turn very fast on the thing. There we go. That was quite annoying. I had to really cut some corners there in order to make that work. Okay, there is still some shit to do upstairs, so let's go and fix that real quick. Go and deal with that, rather. You know. Oh, I sank into this. That's right. Oh, oops. Oops. This way. Right, because there was that spider ball track here. I completely forgot about it because I was like, okay, surely I have to, like, use view in order to get into the, in order to deal with the puzzle before I can use the spider ball to escape the room. But no, it's really just that simple to get a shot expansion. Alright, pretty simple pickup there. Alright, so we're up to a point where we are 20 away from getting all the missile packs. Did I already use the spinner here? Yeah, because we got the boost ball much earlier in the game, didn't we? Yes, I just am forgetful. Because, I mean, yes, we are in an ice zone, but the fact that the whole thing is fucking labs. Kind of messes with... So, we go back over here. Because this will be our shortcut back to the downstairs area. Well, shortcut might not necessarily be the correct. This might be the only way, actually. But for some reason, my brain's like, oh yeah, surely it's a shortcut. Well, whatever the case may be, let's get our asses down here. Is there in fact anything I can do over in this direction? Oh, also I forgot to find the scout bot, which was like earlier in the zone. So that wasn't very smart of me. That thing right out of my way. Honestly, I guess if you want pure efficiency, the boost ball is probably the best thing to use on that guy. Whatever. Okay, yeah, I just gotta keep going. It's bright in here. I'm sure charging is doing a lot of good, but there's all these lights on and stuff too, so that's much more the issue. Wow, he dodged that entire thing. What a waste of shot ammunition, but at least we seem to be getting good recovery for it, so that's fine. Plus our capacity is very high. I don't need to be so precious about this shit. I just am loath to use things that require ammunition if I can avoid it. That's a consumable. I've turned into everybody who's ever played an RPG. Actually, hold up. This way. be it. What can you tell me, random console? Nothing of use. Oh well. Side. It's very easy for me to get turned around because I'm dumb. But oh no, that's a heater. I was like, there's the spider track I was looking for. It's not. But there should be one in here somewhere. Right? Or maybe not. Okay, I see where it is now. I get what this is laying down. Yeah, I did end up cracking the guide a little more, but it's because I missed the security bot, the data bot, whatever it's called. Scout bot, there we go. I was like, scan bot? No, that doesn't seem correct. Oh. Ah, yes, I remember stuff like this. It's an absolute bastard to do that with the ZR. Use the A button to set up your double bomb jumps, people. I don't know if it's just my cheap-ass controller, but hey. Side is this? Ah, it's the wrong one. Go the other way. I see the reason why I was struggling to find what I was looking for before is because I didn't read it correctly. Where is that compared to... Okay, I see now. Another thing I can't read besides words? Maps. But we are on our way to go find that other item here. Yeah, I was gonna say, where is it? It's right over here. Whoa, hey, fuck. Jeez, crow, that was almost really badly done. I mean, it still didn't feel well done, but we got there in the end, and that's the important part. Alright, so here we are in the surgery room. Let's get our asses out of here. We just go through this way, right? That should lead us roughly in the direction we need to go. Right, it's in the next area over. Whoops. It's a little soon to say the word correct, or a word that has similar meaning. Here we go. Hey, we actually managed to scan these guys again. The Dart Wings. Fair enough name for him, I guess. Alright, now out here, this place looks like it's going to be absolutely filthy with grapple point stuff. Because it just would be a great place for it. And if not grapple point stuff, then spider ball stuff. Whoa! Bye-bye, Samu. That wasn't a great choice, but I panic jumped. And that time I just jumped badly. As I say, whenever it feels like winding less, I see an energy tank over there. That is great. Because honestly, that's feeling like the thing I need the most at this point in the game. You know, 240 shot, over 150 missiles. I mean, because of the standards set by Meta Ridley, I definitely want more munitions, but... Or I feel like I want more munitions anyway. But health? Everything in this game kicks the shit out of me, and it doesn't seem like there's a... It doesn't seem like the suits give me any extra defense, so, like... Yeah, I'm feeling that that's gonna be the big in here. Oh, fucking weather. That up? Oh. That's not great. Can it stop blowing me at that specific point, please? Shit. Wow. Good job, Samus. You're making all the right plays today. Oh, there's nothing over here anyway, so... That was a waste of my time and energy. I could have paid attention to the map a little better. I realized that shit was pointless! And back we go. Let's... Screw that up because of reasons. Okay, take the lift down. Be an electric block for us to crack open. Okay, we're not done there yet. There's something else down there to pick up. I was just being a fool. Oh, there's a save point. That's nice. I was gonna say, I think I still hear one of them making the fuck-ass noise there. Oh god, that's so bright. Not completely sure what I expected. I think perhaps on some level I did expect it to just let me in. Oh, okay, so we can boost launch off of these, huh? That's cool. Didn't know that. Better than what I was expecting. That thing went down pretty easily, actually. I didn't even have to electrocute it. That's nice. Alright, take the elevator. Let's make our way over here and on-ball real quick. At least where the hell we are compared to... Ah, right, so we're up in the turret room. Okay. Actually want to go pull up a fuller list of items here. See what it can tell me about this. The room is called Lobby. Yeah, that makes sense. Room? That room. Yes. Okay, so I believe we're actually done here. But for the sake of being sure, as soon as I find the thing again, the little drone that I missed earlier. Huh, that's a little bit weird, although I did start kind of late today because I was extremely worn out and I took a nap earlier. But how you doing otherwise, Matt? The website is janky, as always. Thanks a lot, Twitch. I'm glad that you're functional, I guess. God, I genuinely wish there were better options out there. I'm sure some people would be like, oh, YouTube. YouTube's got its problems, too. And on some level, YouTube's got a lot of the problems that Twitch does, and was doing them sooner, even. Yeah, we got a bunch of these dudes, so we want to take out the fire beam. Unfortunately, it's not quite as strong as the plasma beam, but it does make fairly light work of those guys. Well, that part's good. Oh, hey. Oh, do I have to, like, reshock you? Oh, right, it's a scan. I thought it was an interact. That's why I shot it in the first place. Yeah, my brain switched off. I used one of those earlier, and then I just forgot how it worked. Do I have everything in the zone? The answer appears to be no. There's at least one thing over there. And meanwhile, I want to search around the area. Okay, the thing that I was confused about, at least, is not a thing that I have to worry about. So there's one item just sort of chilling there in the snowfields. There's a thing in biolabs that I missed. Medbays looks good. Power station seems to be all okay. And lastly, quarantine. There's one last item in the security gates. Let's do this in relative order here, because oh, this is literally this easy. I would ask, how did I miss that? But I think I understand how I missed that, because it was behind something. I'll just outrun the battle music, that's fine. It's a good way to stop being annoyed by it, is just go faster than it and stick to it. Yeah, that's true, because I was busy dealing with those wolves last time. Right. I think I assumed that I would have possibly seen it on the way back, but maybe not. Whatever. It's fine. We got it. Sit here in this very slow-moving looking elevator. Like, the animation feels slow kind of thing. Then again, I am playing this on Switch 1. I wouldn't be surprised if this had some struggles in some places in terms of performance, because, yeah, clearly this is not really meant to be on the Switch 1 so much. It can be, but this is obviously a Switch 2 game that Nintendo and Retro Studios were gracious enough to go, hey, yeah, the Switch 2 install base may not be very high at the start there. Not compared to the Switch 1. Oh no, that just cracked open easily. I think I thought that was a door and I just released a shot, but the playthrough you're watching is on Switch 2 and it ain't great. Man, I don't know what to say. I guess it's a case of Nintendo and developers who develop for it once again repeating the same old mistakes of dealing with the Switch 1. Because I'm sure I've said this before several times in a fairly specific manner, that a big problem with the old Switch 1 is the amount of people who are developing for it as though it were a main console. And meanwhile, it's a handheld. Which, you know, not that a handheld is a problem thing to have, but I think they were thinking of it as being, like, more on par with the PS4 and the Xbone and shit like that. And then you get history repeating itself. Which I suppose, as usual, adds up to the idea that I feel that Nintendo's greatest failures of late, insofar as you want to call that a great failure, which I think might be a bit of a stretch, but the things that people have a poor regard for don't necessarily seem super bad, but they often feel very embarrassing. Right? And in particular, I'm thinking of stuff like Scarlet Violet, where Scarlet Violet isn't a bad game, and truth be told, I think that it plays fine, but a lot of people love to point to the performance, and while I think that there's more to video gaming than frame rates or anything like that, I do admit that is a particularly embarrassing sort of issue to have, right? Of especially that deep into the console's lifespan to be like, oh yeah, surely it's powerful enough to do this, and then you sort of realize, oh, no, it's a handheld GameCube. It's an Ein4. And yeah, basically that's kind of what it is. In my opinion, again, a large part of it is not necessarily that it's like poor performance is bad. It's just that I suppose I would describe it as that level of self-non-awareness. And also for a Pokemon game, which is like the highest grossing media franchise of literally ever, there's a special level of like, that's really, really, you done fucked up that badly because you seriously couldn't have tested it a little better or done a little bit of tweaking. Meanwhile, I guess at least for like Metroid Prime 4, that's not nearly as embarrassing because like Metroid is not that big of a player. Let's be real here. Metroid is kind of niche. like, listen, if we want to go around and call, you know, and talk about things that are niche and that seem successful, I talked about this yesterday and probably earlier today. Like, think about how Armored Core 6 sold 3 million copies. All right? And that's for the sixth... Oops, I mean, hold up. Let me do some math here. Not the 6th entry in a niche franchise. The 6, 7, 8, 9... Pardon me, I mean the 16th entry in a niche franchise. The 16th entry in a niche franchise selling 3 million units, largely on the strength of the reputation of From Software and, you know, that sort of level of, like, anytime a random hipster thing becomes popular, sort of a phenomenon. And it sold that many copies across, like, 2 years. The highest selling Metroid game, as far as I'm able to ascertain, is still somewhere only in the ballpark of, like, 2.5 mil. And that wasn't even on, like, the highest selling Nintendo hardware, believe it or not. You know, that wasn't a Wii game. That was on the GameCube. Or potentially on well... No, wait. Dread was on the Switch. Pardon me. I got things a little bit muddled there. So, at least that one has that kind of, like, install base attached to it. Metroid is fucking small. So... And Retro Studios is not really a very big, studio either, as far as I'm aware, although goodness knows how many support studios were involved there, because Game Freak only employs about 150 people total, and obviously Scavio had like a shitload of support studios that were involved there. So I guess we'll see when we roll credits, which will be sometime next week at earliest. In fact, it might not be until early September, because I have a feeling that the amount of side quests and glorified side quests that I'll have to engage with will be quite large. Yeah, exactly. It's... Well, I mean, again, it's sort of like any other thing that's like niche or arguably hipster cred. Small fan base, but they're crazy-ass loyal. But basically, I think my point here is that I don't think Nintendo is pouring the kind of money and attention into Metroid Prime 4, despite the protracted 10-year dev cycle, as they would be into the big, like, headline entry in one of their flagship... Well, you might argue that Nintendo... Pardon me, you might argue that Metroid... I guess, like, whatever would be the next step up from being flagship. Yes, like Mario. Or, like Pokemon. And that came out like that. Like, I cannot imagine that they cheaped out that... Well, maybe they did, but... You know, certainly relative to the merch boom. I guess Pokemon is probably more of a merch-driven franchise than that. But definitely... You know, I guess I would... While I'm saying this thing about, like, oh yeah, Metroid Prime 4's worst trait is that it's embarrassing. Really, how much so compared to any other of the big shit that Nintendo does, right? I don't think this is, like, severe of a thing as it is. It's just that I'm not really, you know... I do agree with anybody who wants to be like, well, I mean, I don't know how much I like the... Because... I mean, like I said, this just feels like an video game. It doesn't necessarily have a lot of the vibes of being Metroid on some level to me. I would very much like for them to go back to the Super or the Fusion model, but I think that ship might have sailed. I think people would probably consider that game, a game like that, to be a little bit too slow nowadays. And yet, Okay, this is way too late after the open world boom. Anyway, that's going to do for today, because we've been streaming for we got about 3 hours of VOD here. We did a lot of side quests today. And we're probably going to do a lot more on the next time I stream this. So I guess follow and or subscribe if you like side quests. I guess the term is subscribe on YouTube, and on Twitch it'd be follow, but my YouTube channel for this is just a VOD drop-off. Surely I'm worth your Prime subscription, right, folks? If you have that. If you don't, like, burn yourself out over it. Listen, it's not like I'm doing a big push right now. I just got my Twitch payout recently anyway, so... Whatever. That's enough of this shit. I'll see you guys next time.